what have you on the left side of the field. It doesn't matter. But putting placements and having a better game plan at the plate and making adjustments in game to stick with that approach.
It is Carly Keeney. I don't know in the madness of the pregame festivities if we laid out Keeney v. Rosenberry. So no Lexi Kilfoyle in the circle to start any game of the Bedlamn series, which is fascinating. So Keeney gets the start, 4-1 on the season. Her fourth start of the year, a 1.59 ERA. But as you talked about in our keys to the game, brought to you by Riverwind Casino, always a good time. Carly Keeney's got to be our Loves Travel Stops player to watch, right?
Absolutely.
She's got to throw strikes, and she's got to make sure that she avoids the barrel, if you will, because this Oklahoma State team has hit the ball hard this weekend.
And, you know, Keeney getting the start here today. Keeney's really been the only pitcher that Oklahoma State hasn't scored up. So now, with that being said, I mean, she's thrown through this lineup a couple of times now. So they've seen her. She's got to come out and set the tone early in the circle and hitting spots. Again, working ahead, but when you are ahead, throwing a pitcher's pitch on 2 strikes.
Loves Travel Stops, the heart of the highway, and this has been the Sooner Softball pregame show presented by Walden Cleaners and Laundry, where the difference is quality. First pitch, 3:06 p.m. straight up, and it's in for a strike to Jillian Poulard. Overcast, gray day here in Norman as the 0-1 pitch misses low and in. It has been rainy and misty all morning long. It cleared up for a moment, but a little gray and overcast. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Shows bunt. Takes the ball a little bit out. It has been a minute since we've seen Carly Keeney get a start here this season. The right-handed flamethrower who transferred from the Liberty Flames. The 2-1 pitch is in for a strike, 2 balls and 2 strikes. As a matter of fact, from Keeney, this is her first start since March 20th, when she gave up 4 hits and a run in 3 innings against UT Arlington. But it was an unearned run. Had a rough one there. 2-2, hard hit ball right at Sanders on the right side, snags it. 1 away.
Good work getting Poulard for the first out. I still am going to go back to that key. 2-2 count. That ball shouldn't get squared up that much. And I know Poulard's seeing it well, but again, I want to see less sweet pitches with 2 strikes. Throw a pitcher's pitch that's just nibbling on a corner or changing the eyes up or down. But you take the leadoff out. I'm not trying, you know.
Hey, it was looking good through 4 yesterday in the circle as well, so you got to maintain that as the first pitch to Talon Edwards is low and away. Ball 1. Talon Edwards hasn't had a lot of quote-unquote hits this weekend, but you get the sense that she's just been in the middle of everything. 1-0 is a little bit high, 2 balls and no strikes. A couple of walks here on Friday night. Yesterday, she reached on a fielder's choice, made a couple of nice and then challenging defensive plays.
Yeah, I feel like Edwards has been in the hot spot at third defensively.
2-0 misses a little bit up, ball 3. One of the foundational pieces for this program, the sophomore Talon Edwards, who waits on the 3-0 pitch from Keeney. Whoa, way up high, ball 4. I don't think Edwards realizes it's ball 4. That's Kenny Gajewski is pointing down. He's like, hey, go take your base, ball 4. So one of those keys to the game gets challenged here early, as Talon Edwards is aboard. Here's Caroline Wong, a battery mate of Carly Keeney whenever they were at Liberty. Caroline Hudson whenever she was there. First pitch grounded to third, could be 2. Brito to second for 1 to first. 5, 4, 3, ring it up, baby. What a job by Alyssa Brito, and the Sooners show a little defense here in the top of the first inning. OSU goes in order. We head to the bottom of the first, scoreless. The Bedlamn series, fueled by Phillips 66 and the people of Oklahoma Oil and Natural Gas. The Oklahoma Blood Institute, Phillips 66, get ready to go. This is back to Sooner Softball. Today's Bedlamn broadcast is presented by Phillips 66. Phillips 66, get ready to go. Ivy Rosenberry will be in the circle. Our preview of the Cowgirls is brought to you by Polston Tax Resolution and Accounting. The tax problems don't care who you are, but we do. Rosenberry 13-3 on the season. This is her 15th start, a 1.61 ERA. Opponents hitting .211 against her. She did a pretty good job against Oklahoma here yesterday.
She did what came back to bite her, walking a run in.
Yep.
And really, I mean, outside of that, every piece of momentum that the Sooners had offensively was given to them essentially by Rosenberry from not throwing strikes. And she only had 2 walks, but they were big walks.
Yep.
So they never really squared her up yesterday. I do want to go back for a second, though.
Go ahead.
Carly Keeney hitting a spot, man. Getting Wong to roll over and roll a pair. It's a big-time spot from Keeney.
Little problem with the pitch watch for Rosenberry. So now they're swapping around. Edwards got a new one. They've got to be charged. They have a battery. Got to charge them.
I want one.
It was pretty cool this year that having, at times, Ryan and Gabby with us to see it. It's really incredible technology. All right, we're ready to go. First pitch to Jada Coleman, headed home. Shows bunt. Misses outside. Ball 1. Hasn't been the greatest weekend for Jada. Gives you an idea of just how important she is to this team whenever she's on. Had a good hit yesterday to start the 7th inning, but that was unfortunately about it. She loops this one into right field. Could be trouble if it's fair. It is fair. Oh, just foul. Just foul. It looked like it had hit right on the line. But our first base umpire today, Mike Burwell, was out there, and he had an incredible view. Now, if he missed that one, then my man Mike Burwell might be looking for another profession, but he was right on top of it. Just a little looper down the right field line that looked for a moment like it could be fair, but ruled a foul ball.
And we've seen Coleman in her last at-bat yesterday shorten up, trying to use the slap, squared around for a bunt for a hit to open this count up as well. But you can just see Coleman changing the game plan a little bit and just trying to find her way on base.
Lay down a bunt.
Yes.
Why not? Here's the 1-1. Oh, and there's the bunt shown, but the pitch is high. I mean, I wasn't being serious, Jada.
I was. But no, it's not about that she's not swinging the bat well. That's not my point. My point is what's going on right now. Just taking hacks 1 through 9. You got to find a way to put some pressure on this defense.
2-1, low and in, ball 3. Coleman, after her 2-for-3 game on Friday night, where she drove in 2 runs, hit a home run, walked twice, and scored twice against UCF, she's just 2 for her last 13. And she chops this one towards third. Edwards up with it, throws, and gets her 1 away.
I like the idea. Again, the placement's just not quite there, but I like the idea.
Now, Talon Edwards was positioned perfectly. Here's Ella Parker. And by the way, it is a little bit unfair to talk about just 2 for 13 if you do not include in that span the 3 walks she has drawn as well. Here's Ella Parker, 376 average for the Sooner freshman. White jersey tops for the Sooners today, as the first pitch from Rosenberry is up and in. Crimson pants with a white piping, crimson on crimson, stirrups and socks, and the orange pinstripe look with the black base for OSU, with OSU across its chest in orange. Parker swings and fouls off the 1-0.
Ryan Wondrosik disagrees with me, but I'm not mad at the orange pinstripes.
Really?
No.
Do they wear this often?
I don't know. I don't know.
0 for 6 weekends so far for Parker. Drawn 1 walk. That came yesterday. Here's the 1-1 for Ella.
It's a good take.
A little bit up. 2-1. Oklahoma State's gone with the same lineup all weekend. And why would you ever change it if you're Kenny Gajewski? Helen Edwards over at third, Megan Bloodworth at short, Davis at second, the talented freshman Godwin at first. The 2-1 is a little bit low, ball 3. Out in left field is Tim. She homered here yesterday. Poulard in center, who we were talking about before the game. The McNeese transfer has been one of the most impressive Cowgirls this weekend. And then McDonald gets the start in right. They usually platoon in an outfielder late for defense. 3-1 is strike 2. On a pitch that looked a little bit in, but a good spot.
That's a good take. 3-1. And you could see that's not what Parker was looking for, but good take. But got to unload here with 2 strikes.
Full count pitch with Jennings waiting on deck. Rosenberry, ground ball to third. Nice job off the hop by Edwards. Couple of little bunny hops, throws to first, 2 away.
Ella Parker's seen a lot of pitches and working that count deep, but not quite on time for that pitch.
Here's T.R.A. Jennings. Had her emotional senior day yesterday. A right-handed hitting Sooner shortstop waits and takes strike 1 on the inside edge. We're talking about your best hitters being at their best at this time of the year. Kind of been a rough weekend for T.R.A. 0 for 7 in the 2 games combined. Here's the 0-1 pitch. A little bit out. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jennings, though, still at .368 on the season. 18 home runs, 55 runs batted in. Right there in the mix to continue to move up the career run batted in and home run chart as the 1-1 pitch is a little bit maybe out to. 91 career home runs. That's where she's at right now. 2-1 pitch. That looks pretty good. Strike 2. She needs 1 more home run to move into 4th on the all-time list. There's currently 3 players there at 4. Scoreless game, bottom of the first. The 2-2, way outside, ball 3. If anything, Rosenberry's throwing a lot of pitches here in the bottom half of the first.
Deep into counts. Jada Coleman went to a 3-2-2 as well, right?
Full count pitch headed home to T.R.A. Jennings. Swing and a miss. Tough first inning for the Sooner hitters, but they see a lot of pitches as we head to the second. Carly Godwin leads things off in the Phillips 66 Bedlam series. Scoreless game, back to work for Keeney. First pitch to the talented freshman is low for ball 1. Get her out of town. Just get her out of town. She's been so good this weekend as Carly Godwin. Her season average is up to .350. She's in that mix for freshman of the year.
Rightfully so.
She's been impressive this week. 1-0. There's a good pitch for strike 1.
I talk about this a lot. Ella Parker, Cassidy Pickering, and, the freshmen for the Sooners and just the poise that they have. But I had to do a double take when I saw that Godwin was a freshman. And just the way that she handles her business and goes about everything. The
1-1. Good spot, strike 2. And it's not just, you see Parker, you see Pickering. Wait till you see Nelly.
Yes.
This is a freshman class that looks like they're heading into their junior season. Yep. And Godwin is like that physically. Yep. Very impressive. 1-2 pitch. Slow roller to short. Finally, did we? Yes, we did. Godwin's retired on a ground out. 1 away.
Location. That is the 2-strike location that you've got to hit. And Keeney, drop on the outer half. And getting Godwin to chase a pitch that wasn't a strike. That is a pitcher's pitch, and I love seeing it on 2 strikes.
1 away for Rosie Davis. Rosie Davis seemed to come to life late yesterday in this game at the plate. She was 0 for 1 and then singled in the 3rd. Now she hits a hard one to the right side. Nice job by Torres. Gloves throws, gets her. Quickly, there's 2 away. Both teams swinging at the plate like they have plans.
I'll say this, though. Throwing ground balls. It's the name of the game. Throw ground balls.
Well, any dreams of a 12th straight Big 12 title came to an end today when Texas beat Texas Tech 14-4. That means today's game is merely for the 2nd and 3rd seed in the Big 12 tournaments. which is the difference between an 11 a.m. or a 1 o'clock game on Thursday. Is the first pitch into Tim for strike one. And I think again, we've had several different layers of Big 12 tournament and how the bracket's built. But this year, the 7-10 game is the first game on Wednesday, and then the 8-9 game is the second game on Wednesday night. The 0-1 is lined over the head of Torres into right center field. Coleman cuts it off. It's the first hit of the game, a 2-out single by Claire Tim. And here comes the dangerous Michaela Walk. Warwick has hit bombs all over Love's Field this weekend.
Yeah, she has. And Tim going down, getting a pitch. Not a terrible location coming from Keeney, but Tim just going down and getting it. And again, this is what we've seen Oklahoma State do all weekend. Mm-hmm. And I mean, they've hit some bad pitches, but we've also seen them come to life and hit some pitches that aren't terrible. And Tim doing that right there.
Here's Warwick. Keep it away from her zone. She has been tough to get out this weekend as Keeney misses up and in for ball one. Scoreless game. We're in the top of the second inning in Bedlamn. Friday night here, Warwick went 2 for 3 and then homered yesterday. Here's the 1-0 pitch. A little bit out, 2 balls and no strikes, which is wild because Michaela Warwick hit a home run on Friday night, hit a home run on Saturday, and then when she came up in the 7th, they pinch hit for her. Which, not going to lie, I was okay with at the time. Here's the 2-0 pitch with a runner at first and 2 outs. Hard hit ball to short. Jennings off one hop. Gloves throws, gets her, inning over. 2 teams playing for Big 12 seeding. If Oklahoma State wins, they'll enter the Big 12 tournament as the 2 seed. Sooners have the inside track to a conference title this weekend, but lost 2 games. Trying to salvage the third. Scoreless in the bottom of the second inning as Alina Torres digs in. First pitch to the Sooners second baseman is low for ball one. I think I have figured out the Wednesday matchups. I think.
Bold statement.
Bold statement. I think the first game in the Big 12 tournament on Wednesday at 5 o'clock is KU versus Houston. Here's the 1-0, pop foul off the net. And I think the 8-9 game is Tech versus Iowa State.
And this is Wednesday, correct?
This is Wednesday. The Thursday is when everyone, the 1 through 6 seeds play. And the Sooners, if they win here and are the 2 seed, would face the winner of that KU Houston game.
Okay.
Here's the 1-1. Turns on it, pops it up, skies it to left field. Tim ranges towards the line under it, makes the catch, and there's 1 away.
It's a pretty good spot from Rosenberry. We've seen, I talk so much about using the dirt. If you're not hitting a ball in a gap or the ball's not leaving the yard, you've got to put a ground ball swing on the ball. But pitch on the inner half, really in on the hands of Torres and just not on time. We've seen that a couple times here today.
Here's the first pitch to the Sooner third baseman, Alyssa Brito, 407 average on the year for Brito. She rips it up the middle and off the glove of Bloodworth into center field. Sooners get their first base runner. Brito's fired up as she goes back to the bag. This crowd reacts like they should. We'll await the ruling.
I expect it to be a base hit, but Bloodworth should have made that play.
Yeah.
I mean, they ruled it a base hit. Ball was smoked, but I expected Bloodworth to make the play.
It will be interesting as well, DJ, to see how the field plays. This is the first weekend where we've had a significant amount of rain.
Yep.
And obviously the drainage system here is state-of-the-art as Pickering digs in. The freshman waits on the pitch from the freshman and misses a bunt for strike one.
That's the type of execution, going back to having situational at-bats. Keep your feet still and get the job done with the sacrifice.
No balls and a strike to Pickering. A left-handed hitting freshman waits and takes it low. Hey, we have our third inning shout-outs that we do every single third inning. So it was very exciting for me to see on our voicemail that Cassidy Pickering's grandparents are tuned in up in Willow Creek, Montana. Always love to know they're tuned in up in Montana. The 1-1. Swings and fouls it off. 378 average, as we mentioned, for Pickering on the season. Like many of the Sooners, has had a bit of a rough weekend. Yesterday, hitting in the 6 hole.
Something
she went 1 for 2 with
Sorry, Plank. Something that caught my eye about Pickering yesterday, things not going the way, obviously, the Sooners wanted.
1-2 is a little out, way out, excuse me. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
But Pickering and her at bat, late in the game, again, she struck out on the change, but I was watching Pickering and her demeanor and her mannerisms throughout the entire game. She had a smile on her face. She was talking, trying to just continue to do things right.
Fouls that one off down the first baseline.
And that's hard to do in those situations, but I think it's even more difficult as a freshman when maybe some of your upperclassmen are feeling some frustration. So I really enjoyed watching the way that she carried herself yesterday.
She has a 3-game hitting streak going. She's had hits in 4 of the last 5 games, including a couple of multiple hit games. Here's the 2-2. Rosenberry rocks, fires, ground ball to second, could be 2. To second for 1, the throw to first, not in time. Pickering got down the line well. 2 away.
You go back to the first pitch in that at-bat, finding a way to get the bunt down. And with 2 strikes, Rosenberry is getting in under the hands. And we've seen it. We saw it in Torres' at bat as well. So we've got to find a way to handle that pitch better. But also handle it better, but expect it. I mean, she's throwing the same sequence.
Kinsey Hansen steps to the plate. There was a little moment where the home plate umpire the second base umpire, Megan Rabin, who's positioned behind second, threw her hands up to call time. They were merely allowing Rosenberry to tie her shoe, I believe. Hansen digs in. First pitch swing and a miss, strike 1. Well, if there's one player you would count on finding a gap for the Sooners, it would be Hansen. Though she's looking for her first hit on the weekend. She's 0 for 5, does have an RBI with a bases-loaded walk. And she takes the 0-1 pitch for ball 1 on what looked like a really good pitch. I'll get the rest, by the way, to follow up on how we started the inning. I'll get the rest of what the schedule might look like for this week and the tournament after this 1-1 pitch, which is fouled back, a ball and 2 strikes. So if Oklahoma wins and secures the 2 seed, they would play Thursday against the winner of KU and Houston, is my understanding. If they fall, they would be the 3 seed, and they would open up against BYU.
Ooh. All right.
1-2 pitch headed home to Hansen. Check swing fouled off. That ball shot off her bat.
And that's that same location with 2 strikes. Again, wanting to see this offense recognize it and be on time for that pitch with 2 strikes. Expect that location. I think that's the 4th batter this inning that we've seen Rosenberry go there when she's ahead.
Here's the 1-2. Bounced foul at the plate. Wong popped out, tried to make a play with her hand and couldn't. Allie Boone waits on deck. We've seen Boone moved up to the 8-hole here today. The 8th spot in the lineup. Probably that's how I should have dressed. Sid Sanders down in the 9. I'm going to tell you something. I feel like I've said this a lot this year. Sid Sanders was putting on a show in the cage. The 1-2. Hard hit ball to short. Easy play for Bloodworth, who just sprints to the bag for the force out. And the Sooners go quietly in the second. First of the game on the board for the Sooners, but that's it. We head to the 3rd. It's the Bedlamn series fueled by Phillips 66. Along with DJ Sanchez, I'm Chris Plank. Carly Keeney back to work in a scoreless game as we head to the 3rd. Which means we love to hear where you're listening from. Drop us a note at OU On The Air. That's at OU On The Air on Twitter. It's brought to you by Century Roofing, on guard for Oklahoma. Log on to centuryroofingok.com to learn more. And a special reminder to continually invest in what I think has been one of the coolest things for fan support, and that's the Trophy Club. As the first pitch to Lexi McDonald is in for a strike. Good start here for Carly Keeney. Soonersports.com/Trophy Club to be a part of what I think is one of the most rewarding groups you can be a part of as a Sooner softball fan. The 0-1 pitch is lasered into right center field, and it gets past Coleman all the way to the wall. McDonald rounds first and will slide in head first into second. Boy, you don't see that very often out in right center or left center or center field at all. But that ball just scooted underneath the glove of Coleman and got all the way to the wall for a leadoff double.
Missed pitch again, just like as Keeney has been so good in this ballgame, throwing ground balls and really hitting some good spots. And it looks like we're going to have a pinch runner here. But Oklahoma State's done it all weekend. Every mistake this pitching staff has made, Oklahoma State's been all over it and attacking those pitches. Uncharacteristic mistake of Jada Coleman out in center field. There's no way that ball should get past her. I say there's no way that ball should get past her. We never see that ball get past by Jada.
Right.
Get past Jada Coleman. So I don't think that's a fair statement. But
tough start to the third for the Sooners. Here's Megan Bloodworth. Bunt could be in play here. Tina Warsap is the pinch runner, and the first bunt is foul. Warsap was on her way to third. Tia Warsap, the freshman, seen her actually got a plate appearance last night, did Warsap. Walked and scored a run.
She had a tough at-bat, too. I mean, came in off the bench. I mean, she fouled off. She saw a ton of pitches. That
bunt attempt is high. 1 ball and 1 strike. And, DJ, take us through the challenge of this, where you have a runner at second. You got your third baseman charging. Tiare Jennings has got to be on her horse here and be ready for anything.
And you can see Burrito. I mean, she is absolutely crashing. So Bloodworth also needs to recognize that. She needs to be pushing the bunt down the first baseline.
She bunts this one hard to Brito. The thought about third. Instead, they'll throw to first. And the slight hesitation allows Bloodworth to beat it. Brito turned to third. Jennings just wasn't quite there. And I think Warsop would have beat it anyway. I think.
Yeah, I think Warsop would have beat it. Brito, in that situation, I love the aggressiveness and being in her face and trying to get rid of that runner. However, you still have to find a way to get it out.
That's right.
It was a pretty good bunt by Bloodworth. As I'm sitting here saying, push it down the first baseline. I mean, she challenged Brito.
If Brito comes up with a throw to first, probably get the out.
Yep.
But now a tough spot with a leadoff hitter, Pouliard, at the plate, and the first pitch is high. You got to be ready for anything here. A first and third situation that could involve the runner at first. In this case, Bloodworth stealing a bag, trying to snag a steal of home. If there's one thing we've noticed about Warsop, she seems to have good speed. Sooners on the defensive here. We're in the third. It's scoreless. The 1-0 pitch. A little bit low and away, 2-0.
On one thing, Oklahoma State has done in this ballgame, I mean, Pouliard in her first at bat showed bunt first pitch.
Yep.
And now we're seeing Bloodworth, same thing, and Oklahoma State trying to, again, apply pressure and manufacture runs. They've done it all with the long ball, and they know that you can't live and die by that. So Oklahoma State doing a good job of putting themselves in good positions.
2-0 is in for a strike, 2-1. This quick start by Oklahoma State in the third has put a damper on our third inning shout-outs. We appreciate it. We see it. Thank you. 2 balls and a strike. Here's the pitch. Little bit up, all 3.
Keeney's been doing such a great job of throwing ground balls. I think I've said it 50 times at this point because I love it. You've got to hit a location here and make Pouliard put the ball on the ground or get in on her hands and get her to lift something weakly.
3-1 is hard hit to the right side. Sanders makes the play, bobbles, throws high, but they got the runner and a rundown. The throw back to third. Brito will tag her out. 1 away. I don't know what happened on the break from third for Warsop, but it looked like she had home after Sanders had bobbled it. But she retreated to head back to third, and a big-time defensive play from Sid Sanders. 1 away. Woo.
Throw ground balls. That's the location. And let your defense work. It was a little tense there for a minute, but
Oklahoma State's trying to challenge the play at third. Now remember, 30 seconds. They're going to challenge it. Shippey came charging, and I apologize. Vanessa Shippey is married. Her name is Vanessa Shippey Fisher, and
she's
Coach
calling
Fisher,
for obstruction.
Yeah, she's trying to challenge an obstruction here on the play at third, and having Coach Gajewski, she's making the motion as she pops out of the dugout to talk. She's trying to convince the umpires to look at this without using a challenge. And now they're going to say they're challenging it. We're not sure if the umpires decided to do this or if Oklahoma State will indeed be charged a challenge. And our official review is brought to you by Noble McIntyre and McIntyre Law, the law firm you should turn to for all your personal injury needs. It's funny, one of the first shout-outs I got today was from our buddy Stephen York, and he said, I'll be listening but not watching, won't be able to help with the replays. Well, trust me, Stephen, I appreciate your perspective, but there's always plenty of people that are more than happy to tell us what they think that they see. And we're hitting, I think, as a team. I think we're hitting about, 80%, right or wrong.
I will say this, Warsup, when she didn't take off immediately, she should have stuck.
Yeah.
Right? You've got a runner at third, one out. You're still in that position, sacrifice fly, all these other things.
Did they have her at home, you think?
I think so.
Okay. All right.
But now the throw wasn't great. I mean, that's kind of the deal. I mean, the throw was up and kind of out of the way. Now, she has a good slide. It may have been tight. So as soon as she held up, but, I mean, the throw was not great to home plate coming from Sydney Sanders. So she probably would have had a better shot of trying to slide into home. And at that point, too, Bloodworth probably would have been safe at third.
Yeah.
So, I mean, a little bit of...
Well, the review is over. So they're going to say she's out. Yeah, good quick review brought to you by Noble McIntyre and McIntyre Law, the law firm you should turn to for all your personal injury needs.
But Oklahoma State, great job, Sydney Sanders. Oklahoma State botching that on the base paths a little bit.
Well, now you've got to take advantage of it. There's still two aboard because Poulard did reach on the fielder's choice. Larson is retired on the rundown. Here's Talon Edwards. Defense stays in for the Sooners as Keeney misses outside with ball one. It does magnify, though, if you haven't listened to all the games this weekend, and this is the first one you've caught, this has been kind of the MO. Oklahoma State has been the team on the attack with runners in scoring position most of the weekend. The 1-0. Line drive right to Torres. Caught it. Steps on the bag. Spikes the ball. Double play. Inning over. Torres was ranging towards the middle of the field, and that's right where the ball was hit. She stomps on the bag and ends the threat in the third. Exhale. We head to the bottom half. Oklahoma and Oklahoma State are scoreless. Hamilton is checked in from Hockley. Jerry Isbell is in the house today. I missed my friends Eric and Larissa Holquin that were here. Sorry to the most diehard Bedlamn couple I know.
Okay.
Eric's an Oklahoma State guy. She is a tried and true Oklahoma girl. Shane Edwards is checked in from Shane Sanders, from Midwest City. How dare I, Shane? Wheelchair mama in Southern Illinois. Jay Kennedy listening on the road on the way home to Frankfort, Kansas. Be safe, Jay. And here's Riley Boone, who leads things off in the bottom of the third of a scoreless game. First pitch from Lexi Rosenberry to Boone. She chops at it and swings through it for strike one. 1 for 2 day yesterday for Boone. 0 for 3 with a run scored on Friday night. Boy, how fitting would it be to see Boone start a rally with something nice here to start the inning. A lot of starts in that for someone who just fell behind 0-2. I guess the key word of the day there was start. I said it like 12 times.
I felt like it was a riddle.
Sorry. No balls and 2 strikes to Boone. Here's the pitch. It's a little bit out.
I just really want to see Riley Boone shorten up. I want to see her shorten up and not try to do too much. I know I've said it all weekend, but we've seen so many kind of long swings and pop-ups on the infield, kind of weak fly balls.
1-2, there's a bouncer past Rosenberry at second. Davis gloves throws. No way! Safe at first is Boone.
And there you go. Shorten up with 2 strikes, not try to do too much. A little chopper into no man's land on the right side of the field, and all of a sudden you got an infield single to start a rally.
Did I tell you how good Sid Sanders looked in the cage this morning whenever I saw her swinging?
Or 2.
Here comes the Sooner first baseman who has been mired in a bit of a hitless skid, but yet her on-base percentage is almost 500. Boone at first. First pitch from Rosenberry is in for a strike.
It's a pretty sweet pitch right there. Belt high, didn't look like it caught much of a corner.
You're saying you would have liked to see Sid Sanders swing at that.
Yes. When I say sweet, I don't mean like killer pitch.
0-1 is way inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Sanders is looking for her first hit of the weekend, but she has 2 walks.
And that's kind of been her MO. I mean, just finding her way on base.
Here's the 1-1 pitch to Sanders. In for strike 2. So in the midst of this 2 for 18 skid, still 11 walks.
Yep. Unreal.
She's behind on the count here. Ball and 2 strikes, though. The pitch, swing and a miss. Not the best at bat for Sid Sanders. 1 away. Here's Jada Coleman.
I go back to the first pitch in that at bat. You've got to make Rosenberry pay for that miss, because I mean it was a dead red belt high miss.
Here's Jada. Jada grounded out to third, her first time up. Boone at first, scoreless game. First pitch, low and away. Thanks for checking in, Miss Jane Jetson. Saw you walking in today. Gina Wiley is walking from home. Watching from home. Walking from home would be something. Buddy Brian Bedford up in Chicago today. The Lees are in Cedar Park, Texas. Jonna May is tuned in as well. The 1-0 reaches and pokes it foul. Shauna Coolbeth is listening while her and Coach K drive through the beautiful campus of the University of Oklahoma on this relaxing Sunday afternoon. Well, come on in, Shauna. Why not? Just drive around campus.
That'll be fine.
Tell them Plank said you could walk in. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Coleman hits it hard towards short. Bloodworth is going to go to second. Bang, bang play, and they get Boone 2 away.
It's a good play by Bloodworth. Staying smooth, staying low. And you can just see defensive swings from Jada Coleman. That outside pitch, waving at it, almost, I mean, looking off balance.
Mm-hmm. By the way, funny story. Shauna and Coach K are great Washingtonians. And my daughter made me a board to keep all my stuff on. And on the side of it, she had painted, make sure that Coach K knows that he's listening, or make sure to shout out Coach K as the first pitch misses up and away, ball 1.
I like Washingtonians.
Washingtonians, baby.
Yes. Sounds so official.
The greatest little town in Oklahoma. Coleman at first, 1-0 count here to Ella Parker, who grounded out to third her last time up. And she swings and hits one hard into right field, a base hit. Coleman, not even a hesitation, rounding second, on her way to third. It's a 2-out single into right field, and runners are at the corner for T.R.A. Jennings.
Here we go, Ella Parker.
She roped that one. Absolutely roped. Good for the kid, and that's going to bring Carrie Eberly out to the circle. She has been pretty active this weekend in picking the right moments, as has a lot of coaches who have made their way into Love's Field this year and trying to stave off momentum. Carrie Eberly, of course, transferred into Oklahoma State, where she pitched her last 2 seasons? 1C2? I believe it was her last 2 years, right? And this is her 3rd year on the staff. And her 3rd year overall coaching, 2nd year on the staff, first calling pitches after John Bartfeld retired, quote-unquote retired. And I think he's actually helping with someone this season. Is the former Tulsa coach and Oklahoma State pitching coach. Cannot confirm that, though.
I will neither
now that
confirm nor deny.
Now that DJ Sanchez isn't coaching, I don't follow the coaching silly season as much as I once did. I do know there's going to be an interesting opening at Auburn this offseason, and they're starting to play really well. They took the series from Alabama this weekend. All right, meetings are over. Back to action. Here we go. Scoreless game, 1st and 3rd, 2 outs. First pitch to TRA is line drive, 1 hop to second. Nice play by Davis, who gloves, throws, and gets her. Jennings saw something she liked, hit it hard. Davis stayed with it, and the Sooners will strand 2. We head to the 4th in a scoreless Bedlamn showdown. The 4th, Sooner softball, Bedlamn showdown with Oklahoma State, trying to salvage a game of this series. We are scoreless as we welcome you back to the Phillips 66 Bedlamn Series, brought to you in part by the people of Oklahoma Oil and Natural Gas. and the Oklahoma Blood Institute. Phillips 66 get ready to go. Back to work for Carly Keeney as the sun tries to make an appearance here on an overcast gray day at Loves Field. Liking what you're seeing so far from Carly Keeney?
She's hitting good locations, and here's what I think is pretty, for lack of a better word, cool, of what Carly Keeney's doing. When she came into the game on Friday, every single out that she put into the book was in the air. Every single one. Yesterday, she got her strikeout, ground ball, short work for her yesterday, but she is just absolutely carving this Oklahoma State team up and forcing them to hit ground balls, and it's coming up big time. Talon Edwards squared it up pretty good at Torres, but again, placed perfectly defensively for the Sooners. But Keeney just making pitches when she needs to, and I feel like that's something that's been a struggle, especially in 2 strike counts. She's handling these sticks and keeping them at bay so far.
Appreciate everyone who has checked in and tuned in today, like Aaron and Chelsea in Colorado Springs. Jeremy has checked in. Scott is tuned in. Kyle Davis as well. Joseph Ledford listening from Rainey McAllister as we start the 4th with a first pitch ball in a scoreless game. It hasn't been the most successful weekend on the field for the Sooners, but there's still a celebration of some incredible careers as the 1-0 pitch to Wong is low. Did I say Wang? Did I say that?
No.
Okay.
It was the foul was a little bit in between, but it's fine.
Grounded into a 5-4-3 double play that ended the first inning. The Sooner defense has been on point so far.
So we're out hitting Oklahoma State right now.
3 hits to 2 for the Sooners. There's ball 3 high.
Just seeing in these 3 pitches, Keeney's mechanics have been so tight in this ball game so far. 2 pitches in a row, seeing that elbow kick out and starting to get wide away from her hip. Needs to make the adjustment here.
3 balls and no strikes to Keeney, from Keeney, and there's ball 4 away out. I saw you move your arm. It was out.
Now I can just see tons of daylight between her elbow.
Well, these are places where Oklahoma's got themselves into trouble this weekend. A walk or maybe a defensive mistake. And then Oklahoma State has made them pay with the long ball pretty much the entire weekend. Update from Lubbock. Sooner baseball is rolling. They're up 6-1 in the bottom of the 5th inning. How about Skip's crew going for the sweep? All right, Carly Godwin is re-entered. No, pardon me. They did not take her out of the game. They've gone to the bench to bring in another fresh runner, pinch runner, as Godwin stands in, waits for the first pitch from Keeney. Ground ball foul. Taylor Anderson, the pinch runner for Wong. OU baseball, 6 runs on 7 hits as that game moves to the bottom of the 5th inning. Tech, though, it's a couple runners on. Find out on the Varsity Network app. It's Toby down in Lubbock trying to bring home a sweep. Sooners trying to salvage a game here this weekend as this game approaches the 1 hour mark. The 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Wow. Did Keeney just change speeds?
Fell off the table.
Look out. That's one area that and I know you just can't magically start being able to throw a pitch, but if she ever develops a changeup, look out.
That pitch was dirty.
Here's the 0-2 pitch from Keeney to Godwin. Looped into left field. Boone has a beat on it. Racing in, makes the catch. As she tried to throw behind the runner at first, she slipped down. She's okay. But the ball came rolling out of her hand. She was going to try to throw behind Anderson at first base. Now the crowd chants Boone after a sniper got her there on the left field line.
It still might be a little slick out there. But
I think it is. It's been raining nonstop.
Yep.
I mean, it really did all morning.
I mean, the field looks immaculate.
They've done an incredible job, haven't they? This OU field crew is new. We saw the legend, Scotty Black, come by. And they've done a really nice job. First pitch to Rosie Davis is low for ball 1. Scoreless game. We're already in the top of the 4th. One ball and no strikes to the right-handed hitting Davis. She's 0 for 1. Grounded out to second her last time up. Now she pops one into shallow center field. Coleman, much more routine for out number 2.
And just as when we entered this half of the inning, talking about how Keeney throwing ground balls, now we're starting to see those weak fly balls again. The sequence coming from Carly Keeney has been spot on in this ball game and continuing to keep these Oklahoma State hitters guessing.
Here's Claire Tim. She hit her 8th home run of the season here yesterday to start a 5-run 6th inning. And she takes the first pitch, a little bit out for ball 1. I think the fans here thought that was a strike.
I will say this, the consistency of the zone has been better today.
Agreed. 1 ball and no strikes. The pitch from Keeney, swing and a miss. We were having a conversation post-game last night about the Riley Boone call at second base that every person except for one thought was safe. Here's the 1-1. Unfortunately, it's that misses high 2-1. Unfortunately, that one person was the umpire, so you were watching the review. And from what I've understood, they felt like there just wasn't enough on the field to overturn it from what they saw. I don't know. It seemed like some pretty good angles to me. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Popped foul down the left field line, giving chase is Boone, but that'll hit off the top of the netting. Hey, by the way, thanks to Paul, Rudy, and Vince for tuning in Norman. TJ Carter and Big Sky Sooner have us. Sooner Yaya in Northwest Oklahoma City. They're tuned in Hearn, Texas. Mike's in Marlow today. Teresa Lakin's out in right field. Everyone's getting loud for this big 2-strike pitch with 2 outs in the top of the 4th. Keeney gets the strikeout, swing and a miss. A rare show of emotion from the senior who rips her face mask off and now taps glove with every Sooner coming off the field. How about this weekend for Carly Keeney? We head to the bottom of the 4th inning, scoreless of the 4th inning. With DJ Sanchez, I'm Chris Plank. It's the Phillips 66 Bedlamn Series, brought to you in part by the people of Oklahoma Oil and Natural Gas and the Oklahoma Blood Institute. Phillips 66, get ready to go. Before we start the bottom of the 4th, let's pause 10 seconds for all of our great affiliates to identify themselves. This is Sooner Softball from Learfield.
ABC Del City, a product of Tyler Mead, powered by Parrish Devon, official personal injury lawyers of the Oklahoma City Thunder. Visit pepperwinds.com.
Welcome back to the Phillips 66 Bedlamn Series with DJ Sanchez. I'm Chris Plank. Kenny Gajewski is doing his mid-inning interview with Holly Rowe right now. Oklahoma has out-hit Oklahoma State, but we are still scoreless in what's been, let's be honest, a pretty impressive pitching performance from both Ivy Rosenberry and an unexpected start here from Carly Keeney.
Rosenberry has been solid. Carly Keeney is holding it down right now. In this moment right now, Carly Keeney walked the leadoff batter of the top of the 4th and then got 2 cheesy fly balls and a strikeout to shut it down. Going through the meat of this Oklahoma State lineup, this offense has got to step up right now and get some momentum. Oklahoma State's done it all weekend. They have got to attack right here and be a spark.
First pitch strike to Alina Torres. Phillips 66, proud sponsor of Oklahoma Athletics in the Bedlamn Series. Phillips 66, get ready to go. The fans did not like that call.
I thought it was a strike, but
these fans are not going to like you, DJ.
I know.
The 0-1 is pop foul down the right side.
I know. I try to be a realist.
You are, and I appreciate that. Log on to Soonersports.com/kids. You can find information about joining the Sooner Junior Kids Club. Presented by OG&E and brought to you in part by Orthodontics, exclusively Mathis Home and Devon Energy.
But I was a pitcher. I'd say my strike zone is inherently 25% bigger than it should be.
The 0-2 is low, 1 ball, 2 strikes. I've had enough time spent trying to pick the brain of you and Coach Rocha just to learn more about how to handle the subjective nature of the zone, right? How it's always moving. The 1-2 is ripped into left field. A base hit by Alina Torres. Bobbled in left for a moment by Tim, but Torres will stay at first. How about that? That's one of the harder hit balls of the weekend.
And coming off the bat of Torres doesn't surprise me. Stepping into the box with a plan, and that's that pitch that Rosenberry's been throwing that we haven't been on time for. Torres expecting it and handling it well.
Here's Alyssa Brito. She singled her last time up, was forced out at second on a near double play. We got a couple defensive changes for Kenny Gajewski. First pitch swing and a miss. I thought it looked different. That is actually Warsop, who has stayed in the game to play left field for now. Tim has moved over to right. Lexi McDonald is out defensively, but still the DP. Here's the 0-1 to Brito. Big cut down the right field line, slicing away from Tim, and it hits off the netting for strike 2. Well, even the way that ball left her bat, it just seemed like it died as soon as it got in the air.
And this is where I want to see Brito, and I go back to a key. We talked about situational hitting behind runners, doing things to move runners. A bomb would be outstanding.
0-2 grounded foul down the third baseline, but not necessary is what you're saying. Pass the torch a little bit, pass the bat.
On an 0-2 count, you've got to get a pitch you can handle, work the count a little bit, but finding a way to get Torres into scoring position, no matter what it looks like.
This has the feel of one of those games where a couple runs could win it. The 0-2 is low and in, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Great crowd here today. We were a little worried about 45 minutes before first pitch, and then I realized there's a lot to do around the stadium. And the stand filled in nicely. The 1-2 pitch to Brito. Ripped foul off the net again. Good cut. It's a gray day. The flags lazily waving out towards left field. That wind about 9 to 9 miles an hour out of the north, but hasn't played too much of a factor here today. Well, Poulard is in center field, relatively shallow. The 1-2 is lifted to left field and pretty deep. Racing back is Poulard to make the catch short of the warning track, and there's one away. Torres will retreat back to first base. Everything in the air has just died this weekend, it seems.
Well, and coupled with that, I'm going to go back to it again. I would love to see a bomb. Everyone in the city of Norman would have loved to see a bomb, but right now that's just not how things are working. So again, getting the ball out of the air, putting a ground ball swing on the ball, because ground balls turn into line drives turn into bombs. So getting the ball out of the air and shortening it up and getting rid of the home run swing a bit.
Pickering digs in. Her last appearance reached base, but we mentioned had to beat out the throw from short on a potential double play. Has had a decent weekend. The 1-0 pitch up high, 2-0.
Curious to see Pickering's approach here on the 2-0. We've seen some pitches go by in these hitters' counts. I want to see Pickering if it's there.
Here's the 2-0 pitch. It's low. 3-0. Kinsey Hansen waits on deck. Little juice in the Sooner dugout. Things you love to see. Being led by Jada Coleman, Maya Bland. Nellie's up there as well. It's a 3-0 count to Pickering. The pitch, that's right down Lindsay for strike 1. Torres led the inning off with a single. Deep fly out from Brito. Now Pickering ahead on the count, 3 balls and a strike. Rosenberry brings it home, swing and a miss. Boy, whatever Pickering thought she was getting, she was a little bit out in front of it. And now Rosenberry's worked the count back full.
I can appreciate the 3-1 aggressive hack.
It was a strike.
I mean, you can just see.
3-2. That ball is lasered deep to left field, and it's gone, baby! A home run from Cassidy Pickering, and Oklahoma takes a 2-zip lead after its first home run of the weekend, and Pickering is fired up as she airplanes into home plate. It's 2-0 Sooners on a laser from the freshman.
And Pickering hunting a pitch. We could see it on the 3-1. She was hunting a pitch. She just got fooled on the 3-1, didn't get fooled there. And the best part about all of that was a smooth line drive swing. It was not a swing trying to lift a ball in the air. You put a swing like that on the ball, it naturally leaves the yard. Love that moment for the freshman.
Coach Gasso told us in the pregame show, just because you're not a captain, it doesn't mean you can't lead. As the first pitch to the captain nearly hits her ball one up and in. Hansen taking her time, walks out. Coach Gasso says, calm down. I don't bring that up to say anything bad about Kinsey, just to say, well, that freshman has taken on quite a leadership role in that moment there for the Sooners. Here's the 1-0 to Hansen. A little bit low, 2 balls and no strikes.
And I feel like that goes back to, I talked about that in Pickering's last at bat about kind of the way she carried herself the last couple of days. It's something that I'm noticing. I'm sure it's something that this team and Coach Gasso is noticing.
2-0 is low for ball 3. Where's our on-deck hitter at? Riley Boone is slated to hit next.
She's having a chat with
I
JT.
see. There you go.
She was hidden.
There she is. Popped out from behind Maya Bland. Here's the 3-0 pitch in for a strike. Home runs this year are brought to you by the dedicated and hard-working people of Oklahoma Oil and Natural Gas. I added hard-working myself, just so my friends at Oklahoma Oil and Natural Gas know.
Valid.
3-1 pitch here to the Sooner catcher. Ball 4. Everly's going to go chat. This might be the moment where we see the Cowgirls have to make a change. We kind of feel like Cassidy Pickering changed everything with that swing in this stadium and that dugout. I don't want to get too carried away and say with this team and with the next 3 weeks that we hope are in front of this program, but that was almost a big exhale.
And it was a competitive. Everything about that at bat was competitive, and that was the word Coach Gasso has used here over the last 24 hours. It was a competitive at bat, and there was a plan, and you could just see it unfold. The home run didn't happen by accident. Long story short.
Rosenberry's going to stay in this game, by the way. Sorry, DJ.
You're good. Just saying. I loved the approach. That's all. I like Cassidy Pickering.
I was going to let you cook. All right, here we go.
I like Cassidy Pickering.
Hansen's at first. First pitch to Boone is a little bit low, ball 1. I get the sense that Leah Dahl's strike zone is tightening here a little bit as we roll on in this game.
I opened my mouth too soon saying it's much more consistent. Should know better.
Boone is 1 for 1 with a bunt single. She slaps this one to Edwards. Bobble, drop, infield, single.
Keep using the dirt, Riley Boone. Keep using the dirt. And this is the first time in this entire series that it feels like Oklahoma is in control of a ball game. It hasn't felt that way in any facet. Carly Keeney, big time in the top half of the inning, and here comes the offense trying to take control of a ball game.
And you've said it all game long. Put it in play. 1 away, runners at first and second. Here's Sanders, 2-0 Sooners. First pitch swinging, and she fouled it back. And there's that approach again, right? You like that? Attack.
Yep, attack. Well, you said it too, Plank, of Sydney Sanders in BP before the ball game.
She looked great. The 0-1 pitch. Ripped foul down the right field line. We had a scary moment there, DJ. We could not find the red pin that signifies an RBI in the scorebook. We're good to go now. Let's see if Sanders can find somewhere to put this 0-2 pitch up high, 1-2. Jada Coleman is talking it over with JT Gasso in the on-deck circle. 2-0 Sooners, bottom of the 4th inning. Here's the 1-2 to Sanders. Low, 2 balls and 2 strikes. You get the feeling this is a massive moment in this game.
Absolutely. We've seen Oklahoma State pitching, Rosenberry included, get out of some jams tighter than this weekend.
2-2 is popped up. Right side. Is there room? There looks like there is for Tim, who makes the catch. Hansen's going to tag and take off for third and take third. Even in and out, even in a frustrating AB, Hansen makes the most of it by taking an extra bag. 2 away with runners at the corners for Jada Coleman. 0 for 2 day now for Sanders. Coleman is 0 for 2, but reached on a fielder's choice her last time up.
And I feel like if you're Oklahoma State, you're trying to get out of this inning with Rosenberry and go into the bullpen in the 5th.
First pitch to Jada is low and away. Runner takes off Boone for second as she'll steal second base without a throw. First stolen base of the day, first stolen base of the weekend for the Sooners?
I'd say so, yeah.
I think, looking at the scorebook, yeah. 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the pitch to Jada Coleman. Grounded foul down the first baseline. Jada a little frustrated as she walks out. Still a .394 average despite the tough weekend for Coleman. But no better time than now with 2 outs and runners at second and third. Sooners riding some momentum after the 2-run home run from Pickering. The 1-1 pitch from Coleman is sky to center field. Should be an easy out for Poulard, who's under it, makes the catch. And that'll do it for the Sooners in the 4th. But Oklahoma strikes first. And as we head to the 5th inning, the Sooners take a 2-0 lead. Welcome back to the Phillips 66 Bedlamn Series, brought to you in part by the people of Oklahoma Oil and Natural Gas and the Oklahoma Blood Institute. Phillips 66, get ready to go with DJ Sanchez. I'm Chris Plank. One big swing of the bat has changed a little bit of everything. It was a 2-run home run from Cassidy Pickering, and as we head to the 5th, Sooners up 2-0. 5th innings this year brought to you by the Housesmith Restaurant Group. Enjoy great dining experiences at any of our restaurants. Visit housesmith.com. Michaela Warwick leads things off. First pitch swinging, popped it up. Liz Sabrito comes running in to make the catch, and there's 1 away.
Carly Keeney spotting up. Plain and simple.
So 4 now and a third for Keeney. Am I mathing right?
You are asking the wrong person.
Okay.
But yes.
All right. This equals her longest outing of the season, which came March 3rd. Don't have to remind you how that ended, where she went 5 innings, allowed 4 runs. Only 1 of them was earned. Also 2 walks in that game. 4 2/3 shutout, 4-hit ball against Seattle. Actually, 4 2/3 against Seattle. So she's 1 out away as Alexi McDonald digs in and takes strike 1.
Well, just everything about what she's done in this ballgame so far, and still a ways to go.
Mm-hmm.
But the tempo, the demeanor of how she's just going about her business, something I feel like we haven't seen consistently this weekend in the circle.
This ball's hit hard to left field and deep. Boone plays it off the wall, gets away from her. McDonald rounds first, and she'll have to stay there as she goes sliding back in. A good job by Boone to get it back in quickly, though she even struggled with the grip a bit. And it's a 1-out single for McDonald. Here comes Bloodworth.
And McDonald does not run well, but, well, I mean,
it's a kind way of saying she was not the swiftest getting down the line.
You know, I'm a kind person.
That's how you look at it. I like it.
But Riley Boone doing a good job. I mean, that ball was hit hard. And it's in that kind of that, for an outfielder, when you've got that line drive that's just coming right at the top of your head, it's tough to play it. And Boone did a pretty good job taking it off the wall.
So Katie Lott, who was called upon to pinch hit yesterday and in game 1, will hit here. .235 average on the season for Lott. Struck out yesterday in her pinch hit spot. She digs in with a runner at first and 1 out. 2-zip Sooners lead. At first pitch strike from Keeney. This is the battle for the 2 seed. After Texas beat Texas Tech today to sweep that series and clinch its Big 12 title. 0-1 is hit pretty well to left center field. Jada Coleman, though, races back, makes the catch on the warning track, and there's 2 away. Ooh. With the way Oklahoma State has hit the ball this weekend, that off the bat looked concerning. Now there's 2 away for the leadoff hitter, Pouillard. Now this is officially tied for the longest outing for Carly Keeney this season, 4 2/3.
It's been a good one so far.
Sooner Softball is brought to you by Brahms Ice Cream and Dairy Stores, farm fresh for over 50 years. 2 away for Pouillard, who is 0 for 2 on the game, but has hit it hard.
Yeah.
First pitch, little out, ball 1.
And everything that Pouillard has hit today has been on the right side of the field. And you can see that first pitch, Keeney trying to spot up outside.
1 ball and no strikes. Runner at first, 2 outs, 2-zip Sooners. The pitch a little bit in. It popped out of the glove of Hansen, 2-0. OU has led in every game this weekend. That's part of the frustrating part of this. And they had moments where you felt like they could really blow some things open, and they just never materialized. 2-0 is in for a strike, 2-1. But they lead here 2-zip.
I hadn't realized that until you just said it, that Sooners have led in every game.
Here comes the 2-1 pitch from Keeney. Ooh, that's up high and in. Yeah, the OU took yesterday the 1-0 lead in the 4th and had a 2-1 lead in the 5th. Scored the first 2 runs of the game on Friday before things became tough. Here's the 3-1 pitch to Pouillard. Ooh, that's way up, ball 4.
And that's that same mechanic that we saw in the last walk back in the 4th of seeing Keeney kick that elbow out and starting to get her arm out around her hip.
What do you think? What do you think? What do you do here if you're Jen Rocha? She's been good. Talon Edwards is 0 for 1, has walked.
Leave her be. I mean, again, I think every now and then when we see those big misses, it's a small mechanical adjustment that needs to be made. But here comes Rocha to have a chat. But, I mean, what I like is Keeney, she looks unfazed by all of it, and that's good to see.
Quick baseball update as OU baseball is looking for the series sweep from Texas. Looking pretty good for Skip's crew right now. 8-4 in the bottom of the 6th inning. Let's make sure that hasn't adjusted. Nope, 8-4 bottom of the 6th. Sooners looking for the sweep as we head on the home stretch of the baseball season. And in between innings, they were tipping their cap, if you will, to the crew from the 730 Air Mobility Training Squadron at Altus Air Force Base in Oklahoma, who performed today's pregame flyover in the C-17 and KC-46. Major Matt Slaughter, Major Andrew Stauffer, Master Sergeant Tom January, among many others. Thank you so much for what was an awesome moment in pregame. All the meetings are over. Big moment here for Talon Edwards, who is 0 for 1. First pitch from Keeney is right on that inside edge, but missed by a skosh, ball 1.
And I think part of the conversation, too, between Rocha and Keeney, Talon Edwards lined out back in the 3rd for a double play, but it's one of the hardest hit balls we've seen off of Keeney. So making sure that you're getting in those locations.
There's strike 1 right down the middle. And I think for every outfielder on, let's say, a potential ground ball, we have not seen a smooth ball to glove to hand transition because the grass might be a little bit wet. Balls are getting a little wet. That's something to keep in mind here, too. 1-1 pitch from Keeney to Edwards. Grounded foul down the first baseline.
That's a nice
pitch. She's had 1, too.
Going into Edwards, the lefty. I mean, that ball was on the chalk, in on the hands. It's a great location.
Everyone should be up right now. This is a big pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Talon Edwards behind on the count. Keeney looking to silence this potential OSU threat. OU up 2-0. Keeney, the 1-2, rocks and fires. Ground ball back up the middle, cut off by Jennings, who dives, tags the bag with the glove for the out. Unbelievable, T.R.A. Jennings. When diving to make the play, and on her belly reached out and tagged the bag. How about that? Inning over. We head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Oklahoma 2, Oklahoma State nothing. Welcome back to Sooner Softball. It's Bedlamn Softball, presented by Phillips 66. Phillips 66, get ready to go. You can't be at the game? Sooner Sports TV has you covered on the air and online at Soonersports.tv. Sooner Sports TV presented by our cornerstone partners, Anheuser-Busch and OU Health. 2-0 Sooners. Ella Parker leads things off here in the bottom of the 5th inning. First pitch from Rosenberry is hit hard to foul and out of play down the left field line. Surprised we're still seeing Rosenberry here, DJ?
A little bit. We were kind of talking about it in the break. I don't think you go to Kilfoyle unless you have a lead late. Aycock as well is in the stable, so I thought we may see a change.
One misses outside.
Just trying to keep this game as tight as they can. But, Rosenberry, though, she's made one mistake. Mm-hmm. So it's also tough to yank her when you're basing everything off of 1 2-run shot.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. Parker takes it way outside. 2 balls and a strike. Again, laying out the scenarios for the Sooners. A win here, and they'll play at 5 o'clock. That's incorrect. Ignore that. A win here, and they would play at 1:30 on Thursday. The 2-1 pitch is lasered foul down the left field line. So if Oklahoma wins, they're the 2 seed in the Big 12 tournament. They'll play at 1:30 on Thursday against the winner of Kansas versus Houston. If they lose, they'll play at 11 a.m., likely against BYU. 2 balls and 2 strikes here to Parker. 1 for 2 on the day for Ella as she takes ball 3. Parker lined a base hit into right field her last time up. Trying to get a big inning started for the Sooners here in the 5th. Pitch is hit hard and deep to left center field. Get out of here, ball. Oh, it hits off the wall. Parker slides in safely at second base. It looked like it had a chance to leave the yard, and it hits right above Alyssa Brito's 33, just below the white of the top of the wall. Wow. A leadoff double on a laser from Parker.
And just having an at-bat. Both freshmen in this lineup have had the 2 best at-bats of the day. Both of them.
Make it a 2-hit day for Ella Parker, who stands at second, as T.R.A. Jennings, who has not only had a rough game, but has been in the midst of one of the more challenging stretches of her career. Just 2 for her last 26. And she takes the off-speed that falls in for strike 1. I have been so impressed with these freshmen here today. The 0-1 pitch, hit hard, deep to right field. Racing back is Tim, who makes the catch. Parker fakes the go. The throw in is a good one.
Coach Gasso telling Parker on the throw, saying you've got to read how deep that was and how far it took the right fielder to the line and tag. You could see Coach immediately go to her knees and kind of give Ella Parker the, hey, you should have been here.
It's been a little bit of a issue, not with Parker. We're going to see a pitching change here. Not with Parker, but just with the 2 freshmen. Okay, it is Parker. So it's Parker and Pickering who have struggled a couple of times with those responsibilities. It's something they'll learn from, and they'll know better. I mean, obviously the Pickering play against Texas is one that stands out quite a bit, but they've both learned from it, and they're getting better.
Yeah.
And we're watching Coach Gasso right now go through the coaching process with the freshmen, saying, hey, next time, you know what to do. Pitching change brought to you by Love's Travel Stops. Love's Travel Stops is the heart of the highway. We have no idea who the new pitcher is yet for Oklahoma State. except it's not going to be Rosenberry, who is getting hugs galore.
And I don't think it's Kilfoyle either. I believe of those 6 walks that she had, it really only came around to bite her once. And, you shouldn't be able to win a ball game with 6 walks. But you go down the line of effectively wild, I don't even think that was it. I think it was just flat out not seeing a lot of timely hitting.
So, new pitcher, loves travel stops, the heart of the highway. It is Aycock who got the start here, as we said, on Friday night. Here we go. Kyra Aycock, point center, third baseman. Edwards is ready. Here's the right-handed hitting Alina Torres. First pitch shows bunt, takes it high for ball 1. Overall numbers for Aycock, 3.23 ERA. She's 7-2. Those are season totals. 46 strikeouts to 40 walks. Here's the 1-0. In for a strike. Big, strong pitcher. Throws it hard. She spins the ball against her thigh. She's ready. From the belt, here comes the 1-1 to Torres. Ripped down the right field line. If it's fair, it's trouble. It's slicing foul. We mentioned it's a unique season stat total for Aycock because she pitched a lot in February and March and only made 3 appearances in April. The 1-2 pitch. Torres, ground ball to the right side. Davis stays down on it. Throws to first, and there's 2 away. But Parker does advance to third, which makes the pop fly not getting to third a little bit more frustrating there.
That ball was hit pretty hard to the right side, but, Parker can move it a little bit. Just gives you so many more options.
Aycock, by the way, out of Newman, Georgia, by way of Northgate High School. Just a sophomore. Brito's 1 for 2 on the day. She takes ball. 2023 Big 12 all-freshman team last year. 9-2 with a 2.51 ERA. Kyra Aycock. The 1-0 pitch to Brito. Little low. 2 balls and no strikes. Little. Boy, now with a 2-zip lead, I wonder what the plan might be in the circle for the 6th for the Sooners. Here's the 2-0 to Brito. It's low for ball 3.
Keeney has been on she's thrown about as well as I feel like we've seen her throw this season.
Sun's out. Shining down on Love's Field for this 3-0 pitch to Brito, which is ball 4, and it was high. Cassidy Pickering homered her last time up.
Expect to see Brito take off.
How do you play it if you're OSU? They gave the stolen base in the first and third last time.
I don't think you just give it away. And, you've got to have a game plan here defensively because you give it away, you've got a base hit makes this a 4-run ball game. And you find a way to get it out, you're out of the innings.
First pitch strike. The left-handed hitting, number 7 Warren, freshman of the year list quarterfinalist, I guess we could say, Cassidy Pickering. The 0-1, low and away. There goes Brito. They fake the throw. Now they'll throw back behind Parker, who was a step off the bag.
Yeah, I think if you're Oklahoma State, you've got to have a little bit more of a game plan on that first and third.
So Brito snags the bag easily.
Yes, without any defense against it.
The 1-1 is in for strike 2.
It's a good take from Pickering. Whether it caught the plate or not, it was a little off speed, not something that she was on time for, that she could handle. It's a good take, but puts her in a tough spot here, a ball and 2 strikes.
Hansen waits on deck. Here comes the 1-2 pitch to Pickering. Inside. Called strike 3. Oh, my gosh. An incredibly delayed strike 3 call from Laura Dahm on a pitch that looked in. But that'll do it for the Sooners in an odd ending to the bottom of the 5th.
If you're going to make that call, you do it immediately. You make the call immediately. You can't hesitate like that.
Wow. We head to the 6th. Sooners, though, lead it 2-0. Kirsten Deal was the Big 12 Pitcher of the Week in back-to-back weeks. We got a pitching change brought to you by Love's Travel Stops. Love's Travel Stops is the heart of the highway. 2-0 Sooners, top of the 6th inning, the Bedlamn series, fueled by Phillips 66. And after a disastrous stint in relief, was that yesterday or Friday? They all run together. Friday. Kirsten Deal's going to come out of the pen.
Yes. And I was going back and forth, right, before this game of whether or not we were going to see Keeney with the start or Deal with the start, for the simple fact of Deal has been better when she started ball games.
First pitch to Caroline Wong is low for ball 1.
But with that said, this team is going to have Deal be comfortable coming out of the bullpen down the stretch and into postseason. So a spot here to get in it and get settled quickly.
The 1-0 pitch misses high, 2-0. Yeah, it was not a solid night. Friday night, 2/3 of an inning, 3 hits, 3 runs. 2 of those 3 hits were home runs. 1 was a double. It was not what has typified Kirsten Deal this season. The 2-0 is pop foul down the right side. But what a night, what an afternoon for Carly Keeney.
Big time.
When the Sooners needed a solid start, Keeney gave it to him. 5 strong innings, longest outing of the season. 3 hits, 3 walks she worked around, and 1 strikeout.
Yeah, she's been the spark in this game. And the Sooners putting up a crooked number in the 5th.
2-1 is lined to left field. Boone racing back. It's over her head. Hops off the wall. Riley gets it back in quickly enough that Wong is held to a single. Boy, that's the second time that's happened on a ball off that left field wall, where the Sooners do a good job getting it back in quick enough to hold it to just a single.
And this is a spot here where Deal needs to get ahead quickly. Godwin has been tough this weekend. And, again, you've got to hit a spot. You've got to get in a pitcher's count here quickly against Godwin.
Couple defensive changes for the Sooners. We'll tell you about them after this first pitch to Godwin, which is in the dirt. Hansen smothers it. New right fielder is Hannah Core. New second baseman is Avery Hodge. So Core with the shades on in right field. Swings her arms around to get loose. Deep at second with her shades on is Avery Hodge. Godwin on the day is 0 for 2. The 1-0 pitch is popped up. Right side. Is there room for Sanders just out of her reach? A ball and a strike.
But I was kind of talking about Keeney a little bit and the 2-run 5th by the Sooners. That rally was started by Carly Keeney. I firmly believe it in the way that she walked the leadoff batter of the inning, got 3 quick outs, and came into that dugout amped.
It's huge. Here's the 1-1 to Godwin. Up high, 2-0.
Got to be smart here.
Kirsten Deal made her mark on the Bedlamn series last year. She came in with the bases loaded and nobody out. Inning and a third, she wasn't responsible for a run. I think OSU got 1 run off her. 2-1 pitch. Hard hit ball, base hit into left field. Now the Cowgirls will bring the go-ahead run to the plate in Rosie Davis, excuse me. Not to be confused with Reese Davis.
I would expect to see the freshman bunt. I feel like you have to. And
Brito is expecting it. She's in tight. And remember, keep an eye on Jennings here. If it's bunted too hard, the Sooners will try to get that play at third. She's swinging. Line drive back up the middle, base hit. The runners will stay at third. And the bases will be loaded for Oklahoma State. Single, single, single. What do you do here if you're Coach Gasso? Having watched Deal load the bases on, 6 pitches this inning?
Yep. And Claire Tim has been solid at the plate. Here goes Kinsey Hansen to have a chat with the infield and deal. Nicole May is moving out in the bullpen, but she's not loose. I can see her in what she's doing right now. She's not hot yet. So unless you go back to Keeney. But here's the deal. Deal has got to bear down and find a way to make a pitch in this situation, because the Sooners have got to have her in postseason, regardless of if she's starting a game or coming out of the bullpen. So she has been so solid, but she has got to bear down here and spot up.
Looks like Oklahoma State's going to go to its bench for what would be its third pinch runner of the game. Not saying anything derogatory about that at all. Scotland David. And she is, where they put her out at second. So David will pinch run, and here we go. Lefty-lefty matchup, bases loaded. Tim's 1 for 2. Infield even with the bag for the Sooners. First pitch, strike. There you go. Boy, what a moment.
Yeah. The thing I didn't like about the Davis at-bat is that pitch just looked like it was on a tee. Mm-hmm. As I'm sitting here saying, bunt! Yeah. And she laces it right back up the middle.
Here's the 0-1 from Kirsten Deal. Fouled straight back, and Deal jumps out, no balls and 2 strikes.
And I feel like Deal needs to go there again. That pitch was elevated, but it was above the letters and getting Tim to chase. We saw that in times yesterday of this Oklahoma State team, especially off of Nicole May, chasing pitches up in the eyes, but need to spot up with 2 strikes.
0-2, popped up, shallow center field. Coleman comes racing in, makes the catch. Runner can't tag, 1 away.
And that's the location. Up in the eyes, a pitch that was a ball to Claire Tim. Back-to-back rise balls just above the letters, and Tim couldn't lay off.
After an incredible weekend for Michaela Ward, what an opportunity she has here. 0 for 2 on the game, but she has gone yard a couple times. This weekend, just so we're clear. She's not 0 for 2 with 2 home runs. Sure, there's a little literal fan that would get on me for that.
Work has not faced Deal yet.
Patty Gasso is out. We're going to hit pause on this game. What's the message here, DJ? JT's going to bring his outfield over too.
The message right now, and you can see Coach Gasso talking to the infield. She is, we're going to see tight and making a play. I think with that, Wark has the knee brace on, is not one of the fastest runners in this lineup as well, but we're going to go back to Keeney.
Okay. So Kirsten Deal comes in, gets the lefty-lefty matchup, and is left a little bit of a mess here for Carly Keeney.
But I think also, Keeney has done a good job of producing ground balls. A ground ball takes Avery Hodge or Tiare Jennings up the middle, you're out of an inning. So,
you did this many times in your career where you would start and then have to re-enter.
Yep.
What's the biggest challenge? How do you stay loose? How do you stay prepared for this?
For me, and I think I was kind of an anomaly in that stuff, I kind of always expected it. So I never quite turned it off. And I think Keeney is the same in that way, but of just going right back to saying this is my ball game and approaching it with that ownership in the same way. So I think for Keeney here, she's taking care of Wark and just going after the 7-8-9. But ground ball time. She's done it all game. She's been throwing ground balls all game. So getting Wark to roll over something and feed Alyssa Brito for a double play, or something that's going to feed your middle infielders up the middle and be able to roll a pair. But if we needed a ground ball, now is the time.
This pitching change is brought to you by Love's Travel Stops. Love's Travel Stops is the heart of the highway. 5 innings so far for Keeney. It's her longest outing of the season. Has not allowed a run. Given up 3 hits, 3 walks, which is a little concerning here with the bases loaded in a 2-zip game.
But I can tell you, too, I guarantee you when that pitching change was made, Coach Gasso and Coach Rocha both went to Keeney first and said, you stay locked in. And so I can guarantee you that conversation was had at the top half of this inning.
First pitch to Walk is grounded. Fair down the third base line. 1 run scores. Here comes the tying run. A first pitch, a single down the left field line, scores 2, and Oklahoma State has knotted the game up at 2 in the top of the 6th.
That wasn't that bad of a pitch. It was in on Work's hands, and it wasn't hit that hard, Plank. Am I watching that wrong? That ball wasn't hit that hard. It just found the one spot at Love's Field that apparently has, we've said it all year, a magnet in it. I mean,
down that third base line.
But that ball was not hit very hard, and that was the game plan. Feed Alyssa Brito for a 2-ball, and that was it. It was just... It hit the bag, but it wasn't hit hard. It was not a bad location from Keeney.
Just over the bag, down the third base line, and Warwick will be lifted here for a pinch runner. That Macy Graff, I think that's Macy Graff over there that is pinch run. Nope.
Sokolowski?
Yep, Sokolowski, Hayden Sokolowski will pinch hit here. All right, here's Lexi McDonald, first and second, tie game, 1 out. First pitch, a little bit up, ball 1.
I'll say this, Oklahoma State's got a ball club, man. I mean, they fight, and they've been fun to watch this weekend, but I love the battle.
Challenging the Sooners here. The 1-0 pitch is right there for strike 1. It's been a weekend where Oklahoma lands a punch, OSU lands a counter punch, and then OSU lands a knockout punch.
Yep.
Let's see if the Sooners can avoid that here. The 1-1 is in that same spot, strike 2.
It's a good location.
That ball just got down the third base line, too, looking back on the replays. Wow, what a weekend for Michaela Ward. Unfortunately, it happened against us. Here's the 1-ball, 2-strike pitch to McDonald. Fouled back. Good cut.
Keeney trying to sneak one in with 2 strikes on the outer half after being in on the hands.
You hear the crowd. They want to see a strikeout. Sooners need a strikeout. The 1-2 pitch. Checked her swing. No! Strike 3. 2 away.
Same spot. Outer half. Again, you could see McDonald looking in. And Keeney just hitting a spot outside and away. Or low and away, excuse me.
Here's Megan Bloodworth. She reached on a bunt. 1 for 2 on the day. Tie game, 2-2, everything. Even. 2 runs, 7 hits for both teams. First pitch to Bloodworth is in for strike 1. Kirsten Deal came out of the pen and loaded the bases with nobody out. Got a fly out from Tim. Keeney re-enters. The 2-run single from Warwick. Now trying to work out of this jam. The 0-1 grounded towards short, backed up. Jennings to second. Got her. Inning over. Jennings gliding towards the hole, makes the play, takes a step back, throws to second, and that'll do it. But the damage is done. Oklahoma State has tied this game at 2 as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. It's the Bedlamn Series, fueled by Phillips 66. Phillips 66, get ready to go. The people of Oklahoma Oil and Natural Gas are on the job 24/7, producing the energy to fuel modern life. They're also voluntarily restoring thousands of acres of land, 20,000 orphan wells today. Plus, contributing millions to our state schools each year. Hear all their stories at oerb.com/micro. And Orthodontics exclusively is proud to sponsor the junior captain of the game. 2 locations in Norman, South Oklahoma City, and every consultation is free. 2-2 game, bottom of the 6th inning. First pitch to Kinsey Hansen is up high, ball 1. With DJ Sanchez, I'm Chris Plank. Punch, counter punch. Now let's see what the Sooners have in store. Hansen takes strike 1. Kinsey's 0 for 1 on the day. Grounded out to short in the 2nd. Walked and was stranded at 3rd in the 4th. She bats here to lead off the 6th. The 1-1 pitch. Swings and grounds it off the glove of Adcock. Ricochets to Bloodworth, who throws, and she's out. That's the second time that's happened to the Sooners this weekend on a hard-hit ball that hits off either a foot or a glove and right to an OSU defender. One away for Riley Boone. Boone's 2 for 2 by my scorebook.
Yep. Well, air, correct? In the fourth, I think
double check the
air.
official scoring. Here's the first pitch to Boone. Running up the box, takes a strike. By the way, I want to add too, as I was talking about my buddies over at Orthodontics exclusively. You can learn more online at orthoexc.com. No balls and a strike here to Boone, who takes pitch a little bit off the outer edge. 1 ball and no strikes. The official stats have her at 2 for 2.
Okay, then my scorebook's off. I like that ruling better.
I think it was maybe a bit of a questionable call. The 1-1 pitch to Boone is bounced foul at the plate. Ball and 2 strikes. She is the only player to have a multi-hit game not only today but this entire weekend for the Sooners. The only offense for OU today, or at least run-producing offense, came in the bottom of the 5th inning on a 2-run home run from Cassidy Pickering. They're confirming the count now. There we go. Kenny Gajewski is jawing with our home plate umpire. A ball and 2 strikes. Aycock brings it home. Soft slap down the third baseline. Foul. Oof. Just missed extra bases. Though I look up and I see Tim was in pretty good position down that left field line. At the very least, a 1-out base runner. Other than that, another change. Sokolis is out in left field now. But Tim is out and right. There's a line drive to center field, and it's a base hit. There you go, Riley Boone. A 3-hit day. And with 1 out in the bottom of the 6th inning, Riley Boone is aboard. And she muscled that one into center field. Here's Sid Sanders.
And took a pitch that was up in her eyes and stayed on top of it. It's good to see Riley Boone make an adjustment.
Sid Sanders is 0 for 2 today. The strikeout, and she flied out to right. Boone at first. 2-2 game. First pitch. Inside corner, strike 1. Patty Gasso has the card out. Could we see a hit and run here?
Ooh, I like it. Something. Get some runners in motion.
Get Sanders swinging the bat here.
Yes.
Here comes the 0-1 pitch. It isn't. Sanders swings through an off speed. Boy, she had a titanic cut for strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes. Jada waits on deck. Here's the pitch to Sanders. Low, 1 ball, 2 strikes. First strikeout. Only strikeout of the game so far for Oklahoma State came of Sanders in the 3rd. Oh, pardon me, Tiare Jennings in the 1st, too. So 2 strikeouts for OSU pitchers here today. The 1-2. Popped up, shallow left field, could be trouble. Racing out as the shortstop, Bloodworth. It's down for a hit. It's down for a hit. There you go. Sid Sanders found a little area of green and put it there. First and second. 1 out for Jada. Yeah, you're right. I am 1 strike off. 1 strikeout off. 4 strikeouts you got on your card?
I've got 3.
3, okay. First inning to Jennings, 3rd inning to Sanders. Unfortunately, I didn't write down the backwards K on Pickering because I didn't consider that.
There was some anger there. Rightfully so.
Fair point. All right, timeout called by Patty Gasso here. She's going to bring everyone together. Here's the situation. A game that Oklahoma has been challenged.
Yep.
They knotted up at 2, bottom of the 6th inning, 1 out, 1st and 2nd for Jada Coleman. What's the conversation? What's the game plan here, DJ?
The game plan is Jada Coleman, the senior, the All-American, the national champ, clutch up. Clutch up. I mean, again, one thing that has been an Achilles, and I would expect to see a pinch runner potentially for Sid Sanders, maybe. But I think an issue here as of late has been timely hitting. And, I mean, This is the moment that you fear as an opposing team. Runner, what could be the winning run at second base, and Jada Coleman at the plate. So, opportunity here for the senior to get the job done on senior day.
This is the greatest description, DJ Sanchez, I've ever heard you use for a moment. The moment an opponent fears.
Yes.
Jada Coleman at the plate with runners at first and second. Game maybe on the line. Ground ball, base hit into left field. Rounding third, heading home is Boone. The throw is not in time. Jada Coleman on senior day delivers a go-ahead RBI single. And it's 3-2 Sooners in the bottom of the sixth inning. The place is going crazy, and it should.
And Jada Coleman doing it with conviction. Putting a sure swing on the ball, and you could just see her step in the box with that mentality and that edge of not being denied. And that has been the edge that's been missing this weekend, and we just got a glimpse of it there from Jada Coleman.
First pitch to Ella Parker is low and away, ball one. Ella Parker has had a day. She's 2 for 3. What a moment for Jada. What a moment for Riley Boone, who never stopped. Nor did Patty Gasso hesitate. The 1-0 to Parker is hammered deep to center field and long gone. Ella Parker sends it to the deepest part of the field and has blown this game open in the bottom of the sixth inning with a 3-run home run. It's 6-2 Sooners.
Have a day, Ella Parker. And there is that Sooner magic and the spark from this team. This place is going nuts.
Well, here's Tiare Jennings. Ella Parker tattooed that deep into Patty Gasso's garden out in center field. And it's 6-2 Sooners. Here's Tiare. 0 for 3 on the day. First pitch. A little bit up. Ball one. They're chanting Ella. They want a curtain call from Parker. She waves, gives it to him. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Jennings. Strike one. Good spot. Home runs this season are proudly brought to you by the dedicated people of Oklahoma Oil and Natural Gas. Sooners have hit 2 home runs this weekend. They both have been today. They're both from freshmen. The 1-1 pitch is up and away, 2-1.
And you can just see in this inning it's contagious. Boone with the single. Sydney Sanders getting a little flare to fall in. And then it's just been rolling.
The 2-1 to Jennings is hammered deep to left center field. It's off the top of the wall. Jennings on her way to second. She slides in with a 1-out double.
Contagious.
She roped that one. And that's the second time today the Sooners have made an imprint in the top of the wall. Now the home plate umpire is bringing everyone together. Don't know why. What could this be about?
Well, Gajewski was out immediately, but I thought he was out to make a pitching change.
Well, he's bringing his infield in for some reason. Or pardon me, he's bringing his left fielder. Now he's bringing his center fielder. What's going on here? They've got 4 outfielders out there right now. And there's going to be an official review of what I don't know. What could they possibly be reviewing? Maybe Jennings missing first base?
Well, and this was completely brought on by the umpires. This had nothing. This was not.
I have no idea.
Are they looking to see if it was a home run? No way.
Oh, you know what? They might be. That's a really good point. Because I've had several times this year where I've seen a ball that looked like it might have been. It's going to be a home run. It's going to be a home run for Tiare Jennings. The ball hit over the top of the wall and came back.
Wow. So it ricocheted off the bleachers and came back in.
It ricocheted off the bleachers. It's going to be a home run for Tiare Jennings unless they really screw up this review. Brought to you by Noble McIntyre and McIntyre Law.
I think they know.
The law firm you should turn to for all your personal injury needs. It's a home run for T.R.A. Jennings. The Sooners flood out of the dugout, and on review, it shows the ball left the yard. 92 on her senior day makes it 7-2.
I love that moment for Jennings. It has been a little bit of a struggle here for TRA, and even when she's seeing the ball well, they're still going down in the scorebook as an out. So I kind of love the moment. Would have been cool if it was all the way around, but here's what's cool. This entire fan loves Field sitting there giving the home run call. Pretty cool.
That is home run number 92 in the career of T.R.A. Jennings. She has tied for 4th on the NCAA all-time list. It is career RBI number 301 as she is hot on the tail of Sid's big sister, Sierra Romero, for 5th on the NCAA all-time list. All right. The home plate umpire is talking something over with Director of Operations Jackie Livingston about the lineup here. Avery Hodge will bat. It's 7-2 Sooners in the bottom of the 6th inning. Why stop?
Why not?
Why stop? Put 3 more on the board. Don't let them come to the plate in the 7th. Aycock will stay in this game. Hodge will get her first plate appearance today and I think of this weekend. Shows bunt, takes strike 1.
Well, and Hodge has kind of been that defensive replacement late in the game.
Are you okay on your flight right now?
I'm going to have to be. We're going to push this as long as I can.
Okay,
Blake.
all right. Here's the 0-1 to Hodge. A little bit low. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I have a drop dead. I have a drop dead time
Okay, what's
in my
your
head.
drop dead time?
20 after.
1-1 is in for a strike. Okay, I think that's doable.
Okay.
20 after 5?
Yeah.
We got hustle.
I know.
7-2 Sooners. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Hodge. Bounce back up the middle. Cut off by the second baseman Davis, who threw it away. She threw it away. Hodge is off to second and slides in safely.
Sooners applying pressure like we have not seen them do all weekend. And I love seeing the life. I love seeing the passion, and that may be the day for Aycock.
Kenny Gajewski takes the long stroll from the Oklahoma State dugout.
I say it may be the day. I don't know if they've got anybody ready to roll right now.
There hasn't been a lot of action in that Oklahoma State pen, and I doubt now with this game 7-2 in favor of Oklahoma, there would be much of a rush to change anything. Cowgirls will still win the series, but if Oklahoma can hold on to this 5-run lead, which there's still only 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning, with Alyssa Brito coming to the plate, why not just get everybody on fire here heading into the Big 12 tournament? We know this much for certain. These 2 teams, Oklahoma and Oklahoma State, will at one time or the other play in the early session of the Big 12 tournament on Thursday. We know that for a fact now after Texas beat Tech today. Meeting's over. Aycock still in. First pitch to Brito. Checked her swing, but it's called a strike. Seven to 2 Sooners, 12 hits. The 0-1 popped up, shallow right field. Is there room? Racing out is the first baseman Godwin to make the catch. Hodge tags and takes third.
There you go. Great read by Hodge. Godwin turning her back, kind of having to go into the corner. Immediately read it foul.
Hannah Core is the 9th batter of the inning for the Sooners. They were chanting Brito bomb, Brito bomb. Unfortunately, the final home game of 24 in the regular season will not feature a Brito bomb. But here's Hannah Core. 6 runs batted in this season for Core. Good pitch, strike 1 from Aycock. We haven't seen Hannah get a plate appearance this weekend. Defensive replacement late. The 0-1 pitch. A little bit out, 1-1. The star of the battle series, the star of fall ball. Great kid, awesome outlook. Just has struggled to find anything consistent at the plate this year.
She has been good defensively.
Very good. The 1-1. Ground ball, base hit back up the middle into center field. Hannah Core with an RBI single makes it 8-2 Sooners. And that bench is fired up as the Sooners will bat around here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
We talked so much at the beginning of this ball game of we're going to get to see the character of this team today and the way that they approach this ball game. It has not been easy, but between Carly Keeney and what this team is doing right now,
I mean,
gotta love it.
Come on. Could there be a cooler moment for Riley Bedlamn here to get an opportunity to step up and end this game? 8-2. They know that you've got a flight to catch, DJ.
Hey, I'm here for it. It's okay. My flight is at 6:35.
You're good.
Someone will hold it. If you're at the airport right now, hold the flight to Houston.
Here's the first pitch to Riley Bedlamn, first plate appearance of the week, and it's outside, ball 1. Just like relay, do you have someone waiting for you to hand off the kid?
Yes, I do. My mother-in-law is meeting me at the airport with my 2-year-old daughter, Charlie.
The 1-0 pitch to Bedlamn, way out in front of it.
We have a whole game plan.
Swing and a miss, 1-1. I am so happy for Hannah Core right now. That's really good to see. And that wasn't just a ground ball. That was a line drive, laced back up the middle. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Riley Bedlamn. Little low, 2-1. Riley Boone waits on deck. 10th hitter this inning for the Sooners. Home runs from Tiare Jennings, 3-run jack from Ella Parker. Here's the 2-1 to Riley Bedlamn. Way out in front of it again, strike 2. She was waiting on something. Well, let me rephrase that. She wasn't really waiting on anything, but she was looking for something. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The pitch to Bedlamn. Little check swing, ground ball out in front of the plate. Bouncing out, throwing to first, and getting her is Wong, and that'll do it for the Sooners in the bottom of the 6th. But what a bottom of the 6th it is. You got to go, DJ?
I do, but I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to be listening while I drive 90, and it's going to be fine. But this is how this team responds. And Carly Keeney is the biggest spark of today, in my personal opinion.
All right, here we go to the 7th inning. Carly Keeney back in the circle with Oklahoma up 8-2. No defensive changes for Oklahoma as the first pitch to Jillian Poulard is a little bit outside, ball 1. One ball and no strikes. 8 runs now on 13 hits for the Sooners. The 1-0 is in. A 6-run bottom of the 6th inning has set this place on fire. But Keeney is falling behind 2-0, now 3-0. Poulard on the day is 0 for 2. Reached on a fielder's choice in the 3rd, walked in the 5th. 8-2 Sooners, the pitch. Ball 4. That's not really how you'd like to start an inning where you just want to go ahead and put your opponent away. Thanks to DJ Sanchez for a great job all weekend long. At least we're not stuck with a Pac-12 situation, right? Here's Talon Edwards. She is 0 for 2 on the day with a walk for the third baseman. First pitch, strike. We'll be heading down to the field as quickly as we can for the Bud Light postgame show. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Here's the 0-1 pitch. In for strike 2. It took the Sooners a little bit of time to get going. Maybe that could have been said for the previous 14 innings. But what a positive vibe the bottom of the 6th has given us. There's a pop fly into right center field. Jada Coleman calls off Hanacor to make the catch, and there's one away. You heard right, my friend Travis. If this holds, Oklahoma has never been swept in a Big 12 series. In fact, the first time that Oklahoma had ever lost a 3-game series in Big 12 play came earlier this year against Texas. Since the Big 12 advanced to 3-game series in 2012, as the first pitch to Wong is a little bit up, ball 1. Fans didn't like that call, in case you can't tell. The only series that Oklahoma has lost in that stretch since we moved to 3-game series was the Texas, and now the series this week. Here's the 1-0. Ground ball, foul down the third baseline. (8-2) Sooners. We'll be heading down to the field to talk to Coach. Hopefully get as many of the seniors' comments in before we have to sign off and before they start their senior day ceremony. Here's the 1-1. In for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 away in the top of the 7th inning. 8-2 Sooners. I'm saying bottom of the 7th inning way too often this weekend. Keeney's ready. Here comes the 1-2. Called strike 3. Right on the outside corner. 2 away. Last hope for Oklahoma State is maybe their best hope. Carly Godwin, the outstanding freshman who's been sensational so far this weekend. Here's the first pitch from Keeney. It's in for strike 1. Godwin on the day is 1 for 3 after having a 2-hit day yesterday and a 3-hit day with a home run on Friday. Here's the 0-1. Grounded softly towards short. Cut off by Brito. Throws to first. Win column Sooners. Game over. Oklahoma beats Oklahoma State on Senior Day in the final home game in the regular season in the outstanding careers of Jada Coleman, T.R.A. Jennings, Kinsey Hansen, Riley Boone, Nicole May, Carly Keeney, Riley Ludlam, Alina Torres, and who am I leaving out?